going to get started with Jason Kersey with The Athletic, and then we'll go to Ryan Aber.
Hey, Rhamondre. I guess I'll start simple. What have the last 11 months been like for you? Can you take us through this journey and how you stayed motivated?
For me, it was just staying focused. And when my time came, I just had to make the most out of it. But through the process, it was frustrating, but I knew my time would come. And so I just had to wait it out and work hard, practice hard, go through all the motions like I was playing first game, and just had to wait until the 6 games were up.
Okay, we'll go to Ryan Aber with the Oklahoman, and then Eric Bailey.
Yeah, Rhamondre, going back to your recruiting process. Well, first of all, out of high school, how'd you wind up at junior college, and what'd you feel about the way that your recruiting process played out? Lincoln talked a little bit yesterday about teams wanting you to wait until February to sign, things like that.
Yeah, I went to JUCO out of high school because of grades. But after that, I started picking up offers my first year at the JUCO. And like he said, a lot of schools wanted me to wait to sign, but I liked OU, and I just pulled the trigger as soon as possible in December.
Appreciate it, Rhamondre.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Eric Bailey with the Tulsa World, and then Joe Bettner.
Hey, Rhamondre, what was it like to get that first touchdown against Texas Tech on Saturday, and where did you get the idea for the shirt under your jersey?
It was a great feeling being able to fight with my team out there after 11 months of not being on the field. And that idea actually came probably like 2 days before the game. I was like, I need to make a statement when I get back. So that's what I just decided to do.
Thanks a bunch, Rhamondre.
Yes, sir.
Joe Bettner, Norman Transcript, and then Bob Prisbillo.
So kind of go off that last question, Rhamondre, I'm curious, after the third touchdown, did it just feel right to show that shirt? Was that what your plan was, or did you even go in with a plan going into the game to maybe make that statement?
No, I didn't really go in with a plan, but to be honest, I was waiting for a longer touchdown, not a 6-yarder or shorter. So I was waiting for a longer touchdown, but when the third touchdown came, I was thinking to myself, this has to be like my last touchdown, so I just pulled it out.
Okay, let's go to Bob Prisbillo with Sooner Scoop, and then James Hale.
You mentioned knowing that your time was going to come, but did you ever get discouraged during this process, and what helped you get through it?
Of course, I was discouraged for a few weeks, but talking to my coaches and my players, they kept me grounded a little bit, and I just knew, I knew this time would come, the 6 games would be over eventually. So I just knew I had to keep working, and I just knew it would come.
James Hale with KREF, and then Caleb McCurry.
Rhamondre, a running back's like a quarterback in that you got to have a feel for the game. The more you play, the better off you get and things. And you looked so good early. I'm curious, was it no big deal to step right back in? The reads were there, everything just fired for you, or did it take a few carries?
I've been practicing against the first team defense, so they really had me ready for what I was about to experience. So it's not like I was just going without getting hit for 11 months or anything like that. So I was ready for what it was going to be like, pretty much.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Caleb McCurry with OU Daily, and then Jenny Carlson.
Rhamondre, during this whole process, how have the other running backs kind of helped you stay motivated, and how did you kind of try and help them? Did you know that from the sidelines you're going to have to try and have a leadership role for the other running backs?
Yeah, of course. It was in that running back room, it's a real brotherhood. We all got each other backs during any situation. And during this whole time, they had my back, and I had theirs from afar. I was encouraging them as much as I can. They're encouraging me to keep my head on and just practice. And it's gonna pass soon, as it did. So I think it's just a brotherhood. We all help each other out in different situations.
Thanks, Rhamondre.
Carlson with the Oklahoman, and then John Hoover.
Rhamondre, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Hey, so I know you had a monster junior year when you were at Centennial in Vegas, and then foot injury, from what I understand, senior year.
Mhm.
How did something like that, do you feel like, talk us through what that season, what that senior season looked like for you, and how did all of that experience help you maybe get through what these last 6 or 8 months have been like for you?
I feel like that's a big step in my life that helped me get through this experience because I was very discouraged. Once I broke my foot, I couldn't play. I was just like, honestly, I thought my football career was over. And then after that, I even took a year off of football after my senior year. So it was just a scary moment for me, but it definitely taught me to just keep going. And in due time, things will work out if you keep your head on and just do the right thing and push.
Was that a preseason injury? Because you missed like a bunch of games at the start of the year, right?
Yes, it was I think it happened after the second game, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, second game of the season, broke my foot.
Did you try to play again? Did you have any success later in the year?
I came back for the playoff game, I think, but I'm pretty sure we lost that game if I recall. So it wasn't a long season for me at all. I played maybe 2 or 3 games.
Sorry to hog the questions, but you said you sat out a year. What was that decision like to wait a year? What'd you do? How did you ultimately decide Cerritos was where you were going to go for JC?
Because I thought I was going to qualify late. So I was just waiting it out, and it ended up I didn't qualify. So it was already late, and fall was about to begin. So I just decided to sit that year out, then go to Cerritos that spring.
Did you take classes or do something during that year off?
I did nothing.
Okay.
But,
All right. Thanks, Rhamondre.
yes, ma'am.
Go to John Hoover with SI Sooners and then Barry Trammell.
Hey, Rhamondre, there seems to be a lot of momentum right now, especially on the part of someone like Lincoln Riley, who's really expressed his feelings about it. To get the NCAA rule that affected you guys changed or at least reconsidered, at the time last December, did you feel like you, as the group, did you feel like you guys let your team down? And then when did that begin to kind of maybe the frustration kind of change as it just kind of kept drawing out? And pretty soon it's 11 months later and you guys still aren't playing?
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, but rules are rules, and NCAA say what they say, so we just have to go with the flow.
Can you real quick describe the scene on Friday night when you guys found out that you were playing?
Oh, it was ecstatic in the room. People were happy, we were pumped, and we knew we had to go play a complete game the next day.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, a couple more, Rhamondre. Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman and then Parker Thune.
Yeah, Rhamondre, another off the field question. I asked Ronnie this. You know, it's sort of a tumultuous summer, lots of athletes getting involved in social justice issues, protests, those kinds of things. What would you like the people in the stands watching you play or watching you on television and cheering you on? What would you like them to know about you that they don't know?
I'm a very helpful person. I get along. I could talk to anybody, have any conversation, and I just feel like I'm an encouraging person that gets along with pretty much anybody.
You feel like that people sometimes don't see you as a multidimensional person? I mean, fans, is it just the way that things are structured, that they just see you as a football player and not as the things you just described?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a lot of my teammates. I feel like they don't know the real you. They just see you on the field doing what you do, but it's a lot of stuff people don't know about me and a lot of other people on my team.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go to Parker Thune with SI Sooners.
Yeah, Rhamondre, I'm wondering how much did it mean to you to have your parents in the stands in Lubbock last week for your first game back?
It meant everything to me. They've been going through this process and feeling the same frustration as me. So to have them there and me put on a pretty nice game, it meant the world to me.
All right, Caleb, sorry, Rhamondre, we got one more that came in from Caleb McCurry. Last one, Caleb.
Yeah, Rhamondre, another question. You just described that you had the injury at Cerritos, and then, coming out of high school, you had to take the JUCO route because of the grades, and now with the suspension. How would you describe, kind of the adversity you went through in your whole career? How would you describe your entire career so far?
I didn't get injured at Cerritos. I got injured at Centennial.
Oh,
But
my
to
bad.
answer, it's all good. To answer your question, like all my life, I've been hit with adversity from on the field to off the field. So that really made me into the person I am today, and just to keep pushing and just to stay determined and to not give up on what I want.